Paul Snowden. I'm assistant head teacher at Horsforth School in North Leeds. One of the really interesting bits of my job is developing e-learning and use of technology. The leadership team and the governors, I think, have got a good shared vision of what we want to do with technology. Part of it is wanting to ensure that in all classrooms that the resources are available digitally, and most importantly that for all learners that resources and ways of learning are available digitally. In terms of where we are now, it's far from the finished article. We've got roughly 75 iPads for students and somewhere in the region of 40-45 staff that use them. Initially we'd looked at the cost of Android devices, we'd looked at Chromebooks, and we'd thought about a range of other things, and if I'm honest, I was actually quite pro Android for all kinds of reasons. And this is where using academia and discussions with academia, and not just them, but having contact with the other organisations they work with, the other schools that they work with, put us in a position to make a far better decision.
We got involved with Horsforth School about 18 months ago when they approached us as they were looking at doing a one-to-one deployment. However, they were really unsure as to which platform to use for this. So we worked with them extensively on different tests. We went around different schools that we've been working with on all different platforms so we could fit the right one for them. We provided different test demo devices for them to use in a live environment, and upon process of emulation they decided to go with Apple.
When we first introduced iPads, I was actually really excited, and I actually thought, finally, we're getting some good technology. And the technology that we had in school was really outdated. I would say I use the iPads for either a research task or for them looking at a presentation, for them looking at questions or worksheets that I've put on a Google Classroom, for example.
We've been given quite a lot of freedom to explore and chat amongst ourselves to say what's worked, what hasn't worked, and just to basically do a bit of adventurous teaching really and just try things as we go.
We've had to implement staff iPads as well as implementing mobile device management tool Lightspeed, as well as delivering several training sessions that's with staff and with pupils upon the use of iPad and core apps.
Your charger point?
One of the things that I definitely found when we were trying to do as much background research as we could is that you look at some of the interesting bits of research that are maybe anti-technology or at least not glowing. What they're actually saying is technology is expensive and it doesn't work very well if it's not backed up with training. So what we've tried to do is a range of things that wherever we've got CPD time that as a leadership team we've allocated and said this is important, this is for e-learning, is that we've tried to use our own staff, use academia staff to get a range of different workshops, different activities that mean that CPD is really bespoke, it's really working on an individual level.
The use of IT and the iPads in a lesson has changed the way that I've been teaching, because I feel like there are loads of really useful tools and apps that we can just integrate quite seamlessly into lessons.
Most of the classrooms where iPads are being used, what you'll see straight away is engaged students. And the nice thing now is that students are so adaptable, they're so used to working across a range of platforms. You give them an iPad, you tell them how to do something and they fly with it, they're off. And it's that causes part of the engagement, and as soon as they're engaged the learning becomes better. Next steps for Horsforth are we wanted to run another trial that's a little bit closer to how it would be after a one-to-one deployment, where they're signed into all their own apps. So particularly things for assessment like Shobi would work much better when it's one-to-one.